So to me kind up here. Good morning, Kessben FM Sunye. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Pacho, employment boko there.
But for me, and I make sure it's you for Sina.
Ɛkyɛ fo nyinaa nso agye so anɔpɛ yi. Anɔpɛ yɛfrɛ wa nyɛ bɔne yɛda ase sɛ wagye so. But first of no, Chronicle the book saa ne de aba. Sɛ the Ghana Statistical Service ayɛ research. Na wɔn research no, wɔn findings a wɔn de ba abɔnten ne nyinaa no ne sɛ ɛnɛ wɔn mfɛfoɔ a wɔn yɛ pure water ɛne sachet water adwuma yi no bebree naa no ɛsɛ sɛ yɛn nyinaa no yɛyɛ on the lookout because sɛbesɛbe obi mu etimi ɛde toilet ho nsuo etwa nsuo no bi ama yɛnom saa adeɛ yi as an association mo yɛ aba abɛtɔ mo anim with such a report ana.
Good morning. We report me yet here actually. My kind actually one of the platforms, you know. That's how I got to know. I'm kind of in the room, but outside. But when I came out, it's quite worrying. Hi, Papa, because and
reports in the cray.
Reporting cannot be true. I'm not saying it cannot be. It may be they might have come up, but me Argentina. Somebody will come up at the same time. My point. Let me now go on my point. First and foremost, Nipa can say sachet water. We can report me Yamakan over and over again. One say sachet water. It produces a sebi general one kasa. Or see, yes, baby, ensure you see a sachet water no. Ebi we use bowl. Ebi we use Ghana water. Ebi we use surface water. Be a very stream and after spring. But 34.1% of the source, and your final product.
No, but Ram Magnus, as some way it amounts to the same thing. No, I'm also asking the question. But you can't make a point. Now the question I may be saying is the source of water, no, and I'm package a bag at the bar bonte. It's the final product, no, say you better say be a sadia no and no cry. What about the source of water? And you have mentioned.
So can you let me know? I mean, I made a lot of interviews. Let me explain. Go, say, sebi, sachet water, a container wrong. If you are saying it's a source, contaminated with about 30% of fecal matter, well, that is your research. But and yet, completely accurate. That's what I'm saying. In the sense that okay, your source, your majority of us, we use Ghana water. A source, over 95%. I know it means to be a use Ghana water. Cook Masia, use Ghana water. Mama can use borehole. And a chimaging the class, which is source. That means the Ghana water so has that problem because even 95% of us are using Ghana water. And that's a fun. Number two, yeah, whether it's bottled water or sachet water. You use the same source. So why do you narrow it down to sachet water? Every bottled water in the country use either borehole or Ghana water. The two largest producers of bottled water in the country all use Ghana water percent. So I say on church and muka class a source on Ghana water account. And Ghana water account you can't talk about 34.1 because that is telling you because if 95% of us are using Ghana water, which is true, then you can't say 34%. If you take Ghana water out, you can't say 34%. That's my first point. The second point is we are research in 2017. What did Amudi buy out now? Assuming that is without admitting this true, 2017 out now. Now, most of can say 72% of air banking use depending on anything sachet water. It has quadrupled. 2010, MSC and NNO, quadrupled over Ghana as the main source of water used domestically. In the case, what we statistical service Kenya who share a man so the figures about one who BBC said 72% of the population are drinking polluted. He didn't say the 5 years. And then malicious, I don't know what it is. Unless there's another motive for it. Because you could have number two, if 72% of your population are what they are saying, hey, that's good, man. Then the first thing to have done was to have contacted the authorities. Hey, we have good students that will certify yes, I know, man. So everything about the thing looks suspicious. Let me put away. It's quite cynical. I mean, this is frightening. You don't tell me, man, no, monsieur, 5 years, 70% of my population. No. And I said, 5 years, I was thinking of what you're reporting about. On the contrary, let me tell you one. You can contact
Kessben.
the School of Public Health, University of Ghana. They have done something on sachet water with regards to what the man said. They didn't even test the source. They tested the water itself. If you Google another organization in Africa, one heard of sachet water in domestic water consumption now, they also study. In fact, one that I studied it, I can give you the figure. So I can say 55.56% of sachet water on the market is highly wholesome without any fecal matter forms or what have you. 9.7 is suspicious. 4.8. You can't write anything about it. So,
suspicious. I've been allowing you to speak, but let's ask the questions. 9.7, no suspicion, no. If we hear, what is the source of the suspicion?
So I don't know. So you can ask them. I mean, you can't have 100%. They have done a study. School of Public Health, they even put a figure. 92% of all the sources they check from borehole to Ghana water to whatever, the safest in terms of the clean air sachet water. You can check it in Ghana. So we know minimum, we know any report, and I read it, our money source. So if you can contact those people too, I think that one to also come and tell them because they were quite specific. We took 41 samples, they found across 5 districts. So then somebody who is doing a proper research is talking all the parameters and the details and the findings. 85.6%. It's not bad, but I'm saying so those those other ones can be looked at. Well, now if you come to that, let me just because people are drinking the sachet water. Let me tell you what to do. Now the first thing is that every sachet water on the market by brand once on the market has a unique FDA number without which you cannot sell. It's UFA sachet water X and sachet water Y produced by the same company. X own number, Y has its own number. Now we go through a yearly review minimum. In the sense that your license expires, you call it facility license expires every year, and then you have to go through the mill, all the processes again for your certificate to be renewed once every year. So within the 5 years now, FDA might have reviewed each of us production process and our product 5 times. They don't come and tell you they have put a lot of people down, they have renewed it, they have asked you the right thing. So the system, we have a system that is automated in the sense that it is cleansing itself. I'm not saying so if there is something like that, FDA might have taken care of it long ago because the system will give you up. You say, when they come and test your salt, come and test your pH, they come and test everything, and you must pass again every year. That thing, sometimes twice yearly if you have the time. And before you get your license back, say, we'll drive your car, we'll hear vehicle license. You need a license for you to produce the water. So the FDA system is very, very effective and efficient. That would take care of something like this. But let's put things back in perspective.
Okay, and let's deal with the specifics. My mama might make a lot of explanation on the issues. Now I'm very concerned about the source of water. So first off, Muyusu Ghana water. Majority of monunya munsun free Ghana water. No pipe no Ghana water produce. No, some of you are using boreholes. And no the in terms of my production line. After some money free Ghana, what treatment processes and go through?
And interestingly, like, to ask question, the same treatment I did my bottle water, the same treatment I did my sachet.
No, I do know the processes are bottle water for you.
So now,
that is why I'm getting the privilege from you. Yes.
We are using the ultimate, the last treatment. Every sachet I know off my head use a reverse osmosis system. A reverse osmosis is a nanofiltration system. It's the finest of the finest. To me, bacteria is just about 1 micron. Or a nano means milli of a micron, which you cannot use magnifying this into. So that's what the standard system that majority, if not all, are using the arrow. That's a standard filtration system that can take care of anything. Excuse me. I mean, those who are if I believe that if there is anything which is poisonous goes in, the arrow system can take it out. Arrow demineralizes the water and then reintroduces the minerals back. If it can demineralize water, that means that if you have all the minerals inside, you pass it through the arrow system, it takes all the minerals out, and then you can redose it back to the appropriate levels. So it can even take away poison. So you can understand the poison. So the system we are using that reverse osmosis system, everybody knows it.
Mr. No, you will agree, sir, and yet all the companies are producing sachet water and they use such processes, except factories with large production numbers. Maybe miss a question, no, then you answer me. Except the companies are more the capacity to produce in large quantities. I'm production line, no, a dose no. Anyone more. Now, if we are using Ghana water as well as Brenano Enya Munsu Fria, you and I know, say, at some point, Ghana water, a rationing of insure, sometimes more and Casamun for the be complain, woman yansio and free Ghana water. So the other sources, Ninino. How sure are you, say, membership, no, people producing the sachet water, no, are able to go through all these processes just to give us the final product?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is the source, everybody using borehole. And the source, there's a source. The reason why we do filtration is that the source now, most of the sources are not filtered, are contaminated. That's the truth. Every water will produce, the why was that through UV light. That means that from the beginning, source Nankasano has challenge in terms of impurities, in terms of microbial load, everything. Then me as a water producer or sachet water, I take my source, run it through tests where I take care of all the microorganisms up to the factory level. I take care of impurities. We call them what is suspended solid, the required level. I take care of minerals up to the required level. So when you come and take my, like, say, the end product, and then you take my source, might be highly contaminated. Sometimes they use the word TNTC. That means the load is too numerous to count from the start. By the time you are done through my arrow systems, my microbial load is 0. That means I have actually taken, that's what we call pure water. So you have purified it, it becomes pure. So if you go and take my source, and then you are worried that my source is not pure, I might have passed it through my system, but since the interceptions are put in place, it takes care of all these impurities, then it becomes pure. But then my final product, and you have a challenge with it, go to FDA. And so, like I said, apart from reviewing this thing every year, they have all called market stuff, go around the market and pick samples. And then they try it and they contact them. So the system inbuilt mechanisms for checking products that are not wholesome, that might have gone packaging and everything that comes with it. So I think that we must address this issue very well. 2, that the large percentage of the Ghanaian population are depending on sachet water. But for sachet B, with this calamity coming, where is river blindness? Where is Guinea web? They've all been taken care of because of sachet water. If you check the SDG goals, we are up there because of sachet water. Oh, so then don't let give the dog name and hang it.
No, we are not giving the dog a bad name. We are just interrogating further. No. Mr. No. What I'm saying is that we are just interrogating. Now you have explained. Say your source may be contaminated, but it passes through the of purification until your end product, may not be contaminated. Implying to us, we should not equally be concerned the contaminated source. Just because it will go through. Is that the case?
Say that again, please. Repeat.
Yes, I'm asking, you have said idea no cross source, contaminated, it may go through processes, as I agree with, and then it will go through processes to give us the final product, purified, and so this particular research, cannot be substantial. But my question is that if as much as it may go through processes, we the end consumer will be concerned about baby a wunya wunsu nukra every first off.
You should be very much concerned. And I mean, the government itself, the system has taken care of that, or having in place a regulator. Let me tell you what. Sometimes, let me admit, because where most contaminations come, where we use both, that's where the contamination comes. Now, when you go and check boreholes, you can actually get. I'm not ruling it out that it's not correct. But you can, because in every house, okay, so BFA or WC,
yeah,
and then WC sits down to the water table. Now, with that, what has the FDA done? Their standard says that if you have to drill your borehole must be at least 20 meters away from existing septic tank.
Okay,
20 meters. That's the first one. Number two, borehole must go deeper, minimum there's all 100 feet. At that 100 feet of no microorganism can survive. But for most urban water crisis, 200 feet and that's 300 feet. So that level, then if you go up, way up there, oxygen levels go down, you die. The same way, if you go deep down there to some any organism would die. So by that one scientifically, beyond the you don't have oxygen. That's why the miners have to pump oxygen down there. The same thing out down there, beyond a certain depth, any microorganism. If you are sure that your borehole is from that and meeting all the parameters, you are safe. But then let me also keep Ghanaian soil without cheap things. I'm not saying Kobe Mesa home. What you say? Obi Tony about 7 tons, 40%, 30%, or Tony 10%. Check the source. If you use shallow well, FDA is just an organization.
Yes, so now I'm back to agree with the report.
Yes,
said directive regarding the borehole drilling. It may not be said Muncrophone comply with said directive.
You don't get FDA. They come to your place to come and inspect. You cannot get that number if you have not met the basic requirement. It is not possible. You have to take your car belt for them to test it, and then they give you the certificate. FDA must come to your facility in person, not 1, 3, minimum 3. By the amount of 3 witnesses, they inspect every page. What way they check? If you say a borehole, you have to give your borehole profile. And then they check all this, and sana, they give you that number. Sometimes they even give you conditional, provisional for you to meet certain requirements. Because it's a very rigorous process. You understand what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is that yes, maybe there could be somebody, who uses surface water, hand that well, he'll be arrested eventually. What you say? And so the person comes there, turning so 10 cents, or you think that you are buying, why are the rest? These are the reasons. So be worried. We are also cautioning you. Say, don't just go for price. Or be a right thing. Definitely, you price at the right price. So look out for those who are doing. They say you sell pure water, but I don't know the song.
You are in a competitive. You are in a competitive market.
Pure water 20% after taking buy fuel at 14 cedis and then do 10 and 20%. Your source is questionable. Eventually, what we have to do probably.
I don't know. I know that the market shares no would determine. Nipa no koton's so the income no at the end of the day no determine that all levels no enyepe and people would have to make a fair judgment for me. But with all due respect, but me miss the question. People will buy according in their pocket. You are in a competitive market. My question again is that as an association, no responsibility. And I'm also moving me ensure no safeguard the final consumer. People within most sector now. Woman so sad, what is the reason in fishing set people out?
Yeah, of course. The role of the association, we have before we register you as a member of our association, first and foremost, you produce your FDA certificate. You come to us, walk you through the process, introduce you to the FDA, and go. They are the regulators. Now, if we get anybody who is we are aware, we can prove, we act as whistling blowers. We inform the regulator, the Akwebi Shahanomo. We are suspected there. You have the power to go there. So break in, go there and find out what it's doing. People have been brought. People want to find 225,000 Ghana, some 50,000 Ghana for you to be caught doing the wrong thing. You can't be imprisonment. So we whistleblow, we inform the FDA, require your certificate before we even put you in. We act as market surveillance. The production space and the market space is also supervised by us, and we should once we get it, bring the go straight to the FDA. We don't like the way it's doing because one canal does the whole lot. We believe in that principle. So this is the play, and we also play this function by coming on air and tell you what we do. It matters to us what the consumer probably does, and trust me, listen. And yet that correct. I mean, if your water is that contaminated, look at the figures. The figures keep growing. Why? Because it means that if there is a fiscal contamination, start running. So we are doing a good thing. We are doing a good job in that industry. Come back to when there's a challenge. We can address it. Some of the issues, when the figures are alarming and staggering, you are not very sure. Consult other things that have been done. Make sure you are within. But then if everybody is on the right side, on the left side of cheap popularity like this, then it becomes a problem.
It said the Ghana Statistical Service, that with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, one more seeking for cheap popularity. Is that what you think?
I think my point is that
I presume they are ensuring consumer protection.
Why would you keep the report? Why would you keep the report for 5 years? Having an ODP, when 72% of your population is coming to water, 5 years having an ODP. Any malicious? What can I say? Otherwise, listen, within that's why we are there. You blow the alarm within 1 year, then we'll know what it is. But you don't wait 5 years. They come and tell the people that all the water you have been, which is not true. You care 5 years. That's my point. I don't know care 5 years.
Do you have issues with association? No, any pure water producer.
Because how they handle this particular issue. It sounds quite suspicious, which I'm not very clear.
They are not your reader, and why would you think there will be a malicious agenda?
Well, listen, it matters to me as a producer and as the head of the association that within 1 year, we are done in 2017, within the same year or early the following year, your letter, they will go on the lookout and then check the parameters again. What you are there. But you don't wait 5 years, then you bring the thing out. What is the motive? To kill another industry or something? It's not correct. Something is not going right. Once you kill, we have statistics every month with the figures about with regards to inflation, just to guys know how the economy is going. Now, we did something on corruption. Well, it's still whatever it is. Then you have them for special water. What is the next one? Is it a case of I want to be heard, made loud, so they do the very sensitive issue about another sensitive issue? Let's pick on sachet water. Why would you pick sachet water when you know that the source you are talking about includes bottled water? Then it becomes suspicious. If it's not malicious, what is it?
All right. Thank you
That's
very
my
much.
tweet as well.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And Mr. No, Anna, many didn't come on Magnus. Bringing us to 58 after 7. Come on, what's real?
Hey, Kwame.